Hey everyone, welcome to a special gadget talk because it's on Monday instead of tomorrow night. Because there's something big going on this weekend, Chad.
Yeah, that's right. And it's tonight because unfortunately I am traveling early in the morning to going caching. So we'll be
Yep.
in Rome, Georgia
Yeah.
tomorrow evening.
Yep.
Or I
You'll
will
be in
be.
Rome,
Derek
Georgia.
will be there
You'll be.
Wednesday evening.
I'll be there Wednesday. You got to go out there and put some things to find out.
Hopefully.
But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. If you're going caching, be sure to check it out. Chad and I are actually doing a talk on Saturday from 1 to 1:45 in Georgia. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then also Friday night is the really fun 1920s style radio show that we're going to be part of as well. So
the G and Cache show, right?
The G and Cache show. So there's some funny parts on it. Then we've tied in some geocaching into it. So it's just not, as much as you can for 1920s. That's a little bit before geocaching, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So be sure to check that out. And that'll be from 7 to 7:30. And that is Eastern time, 7 to 7:30 Eastern time. So do the math. It would be 6:30 here in Central. So where normally I would be. I wish you could be there too. Pizza Ninja would be a lot of fun. Dire Wolf says, I plan on making this. And then thanks. I clicked on that a little bit. I'm glad. Anyway, I wasn't going to.
It took me a minute to get it too.
I know. I started reading it. So I got to read what I am pushing up here sometimes. So thanks, Dire Wolf. Anyway, so it's going to be a lot of fun. It's costumes and everything. So if you haven't made it going caching, at least make it once. And I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. So, but before we get too much further into this, because Chad, you're building a birdhouse tonight.
Yes, something I've always said. I'll never put a birdhouse out, or I'll never build a birdhouse. But it's time.
It's time. Can't. Well, I'm going to say you can't make gadgets without making a birdhouse, but you can. It's just we all make our own types of gadgets. So. But before we get too much further, let's go ahead and hear from our sponsors. If you have not become a patron of the Geocache Talk Network, what are you waiting for? Patron levels start as low as a Bison Tube level at $3 a month. To sign up is easy. Simply go to the Geocache Talk website and click on the Become a Patron button, or go to patreon.com/Geocache Talk. Patrons now get the famous Blackout coin, invites to special events, and other really great items throughout the year. Become a patron today.
Logwork, the creators of the fantastic logbook, made with genuine Right in the Rain paper. The logbook's designed for the micro containers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who'd rather go caching than doing cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's LOGWERK.com.
Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Submit your geocaching milestones and adventures to be published. FTF Magazine is also interactive with puzzles to solve and the hunt to find Spartacus. If you can solve the puzzle or find Spartacus, then you will be entered in to win a special pack tag. Every new subscription, you will receive a special swag pack. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today. All right, so I'm getting some word that my microphone seems low. So let me see if I can get that fixed real quick.
Sounds good to me.
Right, yeah. They're just saying that it sounds a little low. So I'm going to try and get that adjusted It's not letting me adjust my microphone tonight.
Uh-oh.
All right, I'll let you go for a little bit. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, no worries. So tonight we're going to do a birdhouse like we talked about. This may be a couple-parter. I don't know if I'll get to the whole thing tonight. We'll get the birdhouse built. But maybe we'll do the puzzle not next week, but next month, because I won't have any time this whole next week I get back next Tuesday in town, so I won't have time to do the puzzle part of it to build. But anyway, so this will end up being a two-parter on this birdhouse build. So I was trying to figure out the best way to build a birdhouse, what people usually use, and people usually use cedar. So that's what I end up using for my birdhouse build. Is just some 1x6 cedar here that I have. I have tons of this stuff, so I thought, well, let's just use it. Why go buy some new stuff? So that is where we're going to start. So 1x6, most people cut the boards, right? You cut the wood into a box. Well, and then you nail the corners of the box. Well, I am, of course.
Got it. I got it.
You got that?
I thought you were showing. Yeah.
So, no, that's fine. We can show this. I'm, of course, a little bit different. I don't like to make just your typical birdhouse. So what I end up doing is I end up in here putting the drawer lock corners on the birdhouse. So what this will do is hide your extra seam and actually make it look like a solid piece of wood. So if you take a look at it, it actually goes together like this. Oh, that's the wrong side. Like this, and it locks it all together. And then it will look like a solid piece of wood. And so we use these when we're doing, it looks like a solid piece of wood. So if we're doing something that looks like a beam, you want something to look like a solid post. This is a trick that we use to actually nail all together, glue it, and then it looks like actually a solid post once it's all glued and nailed together. So, and it's going to make a stronger corner because there's more gluing surface, right? So the more gluing surface you have, which all these different angles here on this gives you an extra gluing surface, it will make it stronger. So anyways, so I started with that. This is just about a 12-inch birdhouse, which is, I've never built one. I'm thinking that's probably a good size to start with.
12-inch, yep. Move it a little bit further to the center. If you can.
There we go. How about that? There we go. So we will start. So I started with routing this. And so the router I use on this is a drawer lock router bit on this. And what it looks like here, sorry, I'm on the wrong thing. Can you pull that up there, Derek?
Which one are you trying to get? Oh, the router?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is what the router bit looks like when you purchase it. So that's what it is. It's just a drawer lock profile router bit. So there's many different brands. That's just the one that I have. So, and then when you cut it, you're going to cut your back piece or your side piece. You have to cut them at different directions, right? So your back piece, I cut mine flat through the router, right? Both ways like this, which we can show a quick video of that.
All right, here we go. I'm going to roll it. Such a nice clean cut.
Yeah, it is. They are nice when you got a sharp bit or a router bit. Yeah. So, so the back piece I do flat, and then your side piece you have to do it on the side on your fence, right? And then that way they don't match, right? They're the opposite cut, and they'll go right together. Which I did do a video of that, but we didn't put it up there. Figured that was enough of watching me route something. It's not very exciting. So, and then, your birdhouse needs a bottom piece. So what I end up doing here, is putting in,
a notch or.
Yeah, no, I can't believe I do this every day and I think about it. It's not a rabbit. It's a, oh my gosh. I do this every day and I can't remember. Anyways, this is crazy. But I use the router bit instead of. I cannot believe I forgot. I got to start writing stuff down before the podcast because it seems like I forget. Dado bit. There you go. Yeah. So instead of using, you can get a dado for your table saw if you want. But I just used a 3/4 inch router bit and routed it through there as well, the same way through my router. But you can use a dado bit on your table saw as well.
Okay.
And then in the front, so I did that all the way around on the bottom. And then the front, I did another dado here for the front panel of the cache. Now, I did this with the table saw, not with the router, just because it's just two slots, two rips real quick. It was a lot easier than trying to set up the router table. So anyway, so pretty simple. Birdhouse, pretty simple to make it. And again, what this dado is going to do is going to give us more gluing surface and give it a little more strength for the birdhouse.
Okay.
So,
everybody, does my volume sound better now? I'm just trying to find out if it does or not. So just let me know. And if I need to, I will adjust Chad's. For some reason, it's not letting me adjust mine right off. So just let me know.
Cool. So we can go ahead and start putting this together.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is go ahead and glue the corners. And what I like to use are acid brushes for gluing these. I actually prefer these ones a little bit better. Okay. And so what we're going to do is put our glue on the in our joint here. We're going to actually just go ahead and spread it all through this whole corner here.
Yeah, when I'm doing my videos, this is usually all sped up, so I can't speed Chad up though tonight. Sorry, guys. He's not going to get this one done in 7 minutes.
Well, we have an hour, luckily.
Yeah, we got an hour.
So,
Darwolf says, "Dado, daylight came, and I want to go home."
Nice.
So,
okay, and now we're going to do the same thing to the other side as well. Make sure that's the right one. I have a lot.
So for the audio listeners, what Chad's doing is going through with the paintbrush, and he's putting glue into the joints of where he used the router to put into the putting the birdhouse together. And this is a nice looking birdhouse already, Chad. I mean, it's just saying. I mean,
thanks.
I haven't done this type of. I don't have that bit. I need to get that bit, but I don't have that bit to do the edges of the birdhouse. And
it works with all different types of material. So you could do it with your...
Sorry. Bell goes, quick, Derek, insert a montage. Let's hear. We'll throw in this camera. There's your montage. All right, so there it is.
Okay, so we have that one glued. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and nail it. And I'm going to use just a brad gun today. To
says, don't
nail
spill
this
the bird seed.
Don't spill the bird seed. So you can use a clamp if you want to clamp this together. Well, I'm not too worried about it. So we'll see what happens here.
And I love brad guns. You mentioned it to me, and I was like, I got to get one of these.
I was just thinking, I might have put one right into that rabbit or into that dado. But I didn't. I missed it.
That's good.
So I was worried that I was going to put one in here, and then that would really mess up my whole build. I wasn't the cleanest with the glue, but
yeah, but it's going to hold, and that's why we keep paper towels and other stuff in our shops.
Yeah. So I did the 4 nails here, kind of random. They're not really spaced evenly. And then typically I would do 4 more here.
Ryan asks, does your brad gun leave pits?
It does. So you can adjust it, and it comes with different tips here you can add to it. I lost one of them. But yes, it does. And you can adjust it right here. This is just a cordless brad gun. So, yeah, a little bit easier than doing the hooking the air compressor up.
Gary's saying Birdhouse Gadget Build on Twitter.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are streaming to Twitter tonight. So if you are watching on Twitter, let us know. Would love to see comments coming in from there as well, and shares and everything else. So yeah, they finally opened it back up. It used to be on Periscope, and they finally got it set up so we can be streaming as well on Twitter. So we are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, of course, where most of y'all are watching from us tonight, and Twitter. So we're streaming everywhere. So I think we're even on Twitch too. So we're out there. Just let us know where you're watching us from, and you can always, by doing that, you can just send us an email. And the easiest way, of course, is I'm in the wrong one for our emails. So the easiest way is just to send us an email to gadgettalkpodcast@gmail.com. Both Chad and I will get that, so you can just send it to there and we'll both see it. Love to hear where you're watching from, and also from where you're watching it at, like YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter or Twitch. So really would love to see that. And always, if you've got a build and you want to tag us in it on Instagram, it's always at Gadget Talk Podcast. You can just tag us right there on there. As I've been sitting here jibber jabbering, Chad's going in and laying some more glue in on another seam on the other
just
side.
Just the opposite side, the opposite wall.
So
with the birdhouse.
Yep. So this is just, I
didn't talk about the glue. So I use the Tile Bond 3 glue. I also have the Gorilla Glue. This is a waterproof exterior interior glue. I use it a lot. It works pretty good. I don't have any issues with it.
Bill on the Move says he used an amazing technology, and they're called screws. Screws are great. What type of screws are you using? Nothing wrong. Are you using security screws? Are you using star bits? Or what are you using when you're doing those? Because that's something, if you're using just the straight Phillips, those can have a tendency of being broken into a little bit easier. So just let us know what type you're using. So, and we got Elizabeth Shaw is watching from Phillip Island in Victoria, Australia on Facebook. That is awesome.
Oh, nice. Well, welcome.
Yes.
Geez, what time
How's
is it
tomorrow
there?
Doing?
Yeah.
It's tomorrow.
She's from the future.
So.
All right. So I got this all glued, put together here, the opposite side. So I'm going to go ahead and nail that. My battery almost dead.
Is the battery dead? The light's on.
That's good.
It's a fuel brushless. And you guys ever see that? See at the top of it? There's the back end of the Brad gun. Maybe.
It must be live because,
Yeah.
It doesn't want to work. Yeah, let me make sure we're all pushed down and even.
There it goes. Okay, so
what the delay is. Let me switch my battery out here.
Ryan thanks for the super chat. Ryan just gave us a super chat of $2 for the bad puns. All right, thank you. I can
nice.
I can do a lot more. And if that's going to bring in more money, I got some puns all over the place. I usually get in trouble for them. So if that's going to bring in money to the channel, I will break them out. So let's see here. The GC DSK11 asks, what kind of router bit was that again?
The router bit itself?
Right.
Oh. Do you know? It's a drawer lock router bit.
Drawer lock? Drawer. It's a
drawer lock profile router bit.
Okay, so it's a really great, and I'll show you what the picture of it is again while Chad's doing that. So here's the actual bit itself. So I will see, as we're talking, I will see if I can find one on Amazon real quick, and I will drop a link in the chat, and I'll probably drop one in my shopping cart as well. So,
yeah, one of those things. I use them for work, so they come in handy.
Right.
So one thing I didn't show, and I'm building a separate shop over here next to us. So in the future, we'll actually be able to cut all this at one time on the show.
Okay.
But what I did not do was showing I did cut a 15-degree angle here to the back.
Okay.
To make it a clear story of Birdhouse. I wanted something so that the water drips goes straight back. It doesn't go over the front or down the side. So I wanted it to go straight back. So it's called a clear story roof. So
Okay.
So next we're going to add our bottom. So I cut the bottom here. Obviously, you just measure. Fairly simple. You measure inside your dados, and then your depth on this, and then you stick your bottom in. And then on the bottom, I also did a dado to match the dado on the side, so our front panel can fit in. So what we're going to do is just double check and make sure it fits. And once we know it fits, we're going to glue it. Lots of glue.
Lots of glue. And I just dropped that the bit, a link for the bit into the chat, so you can click on that, and that will once again that's an affiliate link, and that will help the channel as well. So but yeah, and what I'm seeing on stock right now, the one that I dropped in there, there's only 12 left. So and we've got 26 people on here, and I got
how much are they on there?
This one is 22.23.
Well, that's not bad at all.
No, and it's a carbide. This one's got it's got a quarter up to a half-inch stock and a quarter-inch shank on it. So
okay. And now they should be different sizes for different thicknesses of wood as well.
Right. So this one, I did this one for the half-inch. Right. This one's for a half-inch. I do see some. Of course, they go up. I see one here for 27.28 and this one will go up to a 1-inch stock. So it just depends on what you're wanting to do. But that once you get onto that one, you can find if you need a different size. How thick of wood are you using there, Chad?
So this is 3/4. So I would think the 1-inch would work. Typically 1 inch is called 5/4 when they're talking about that. So I would think that the 1 inch is for 3/4 inch wood. But that will probably end up going up to a half-inch shank on there too.
Right. And okay, so shank. Yeah, it goes stock is this one's actually a quarter shank. Up to 3/4 inch. Cool. This one's okay. Here's one that's up to 3/4 inch. All right, and I'm dropping this link in here as well. This one is the 3/4 inch router bit, and this one is 2501. Got to get that penny in there. And this one does a 1/4 inch shank, has a 1/4 inch shank on it as well. So that's that one. And if you want to, and of course, you can always get these in sets as frequently bought together. So there's that. Oh, is this 3 of them?
The 3/4,
okay.
huh?
Yeah, here's a 3-fer, and this one it will do a 1/4 inch. So I'm gonna drop this one in here as well. I think this is the better deal. This one's actually $24.99, and it gets you the three of them. So, so I'm gonna drop this link in here as well into the chat. So
one thing when you're gluing the cross grain here, it absorbs glue really easily. So typically I'll put some on there and let it absorb, and then put a little bit more on. But again, it's your call, whatever you feel comfortable doing. I mean, glue is pretty cheap, so I don't splurt. I'm not too conservative on it.
Right, and here's one. Okay, Houston Dave, Texas Dave is asking, are you going to paint your birdhouse?
Yeah, cedar. No, it's going to be natural. Great. So we glued this all the way up here, and then slide it into place. Everything's all glued, and then we'll go ahead and nail right through the side of this. So one thing I thought about doing was actually doing some pre-sunk drill bit screws, and then actually putting plugs in them and sanding them so you don't see them. But then I got lazy.
Okay. Yeah, that happens at times. I mean, that's as we're doing different projects and going through a whole bunch of different stuff. Yeah.
Yep. So we're just going to nail this here. I'm just going to put a couple brads in it.
So they're asking with your cedar, and I think I know the answer to this too, but are you going to need to do anything to make it waterproof
Well,
or
cedar.
weather seal it?
It does have a weather seal on it, but yes. So yes, this actually already does have a weather seal on it. It happened to just be that way from a project that it was left over from. We weather sealed it all first. So it has it on there. If you notice how it has that shine to it.
Right.
So yes, it has a weather seal on it. What brand and style? I don't know.
Right.
You asked me
GCD SK11 is saying linseed oil.
Yeah, that will work. Whatever you want to use. So anyways, there you go. It's kind of clean. You can actually get there's a crayon they make. There's a couple different wood fillers you could put on here, but there's a crayon you put in there, and you could fill it in, rub it off, and then it actually will make those disappear fairly easy. So, but there's the main body for the birdhouse there. So as you can see, it's fairly simple. Of course, I had everything cut, so it's going easy. So next, for the front of my cache, I cut a piece of 1/4 inch wood. What I'm going to end up using for it, the main cache is obviously not obviously, but plexiglass, because I like plexiglass. Right.
Yes.
So, but the dado that we stuck in here on the sides and the bottom, we'll just slide that in, and then that's not going to go anywhere once it's in there.
Right.
So, and now we just got to put a top on it. Now, the tricky part about the top is, if you ever need to do maintenance to it, you need the top to be able to come off in order to get the face off. So we're going to hide the screws with the roof on this. So we're going to do a tin roof and hide the screws.
Okay. So what's the puzzle going to be on this?
I don't know. That's going to be for another show.
That's for another show. This is just making a birdhouse.
Yeah. This is just making, and this is the way I would build it, right? I'm sure there's a lot of people going, "Oh, I wouldn't do it that way," but you know.
So
this is the way I would build it.
Yeah. So I was just going to ask you, what's the puzzle for us to get into this, or is it? Yeah. So that's just.
I don't know.
So we're looking for suggestions of what the puzzle could be.
Yeah. So for the roof, because I didn't like the size of a 1x6 it would be even with the top. I wanted to have an overhang on it. So I went with a pre-primed cedar. Okay, again, I have a bunch of this in the side of the house, so I'm trying to be cheap and not spend money. So it's a tongue and groove or finger jointed cedar that's pre-primed. That's going to go on top. I went ahead and put a drip edge on it. So all you do is you do a kerf cut in here, right? Okay. And so when it's sitting on the birdhouse like this, we'll put it sideways to show you. If it's sitting like this and you have water that drips down, it'll come around the bottom of this and hit this lip and then drip down. So drip off of the roof instead of running back into the birdhouse itself.
Right. So Houston Dave is wondering, how does the bird get into the cache? Because he's not seeing
with a special tot. Yes. Patience. It will come. So, and I also don't have the door for it today. I was debating whether if I wanted to do a door or not. It depends on what the cache is going to end up being. Okay. But I think I will end up putting a door on this. But I think with what we have here tonight, we'll spend the hour on what we have, and then we'll finish it up next month. Okay. So anyway, this is the birdhouse. Now I'm going to have it even in the back, because if you mount it up against something, if you have your roof down, right, it's going to be hard to mount it flush. So I'm going to run it even here in the back.
Houston Dave says add some rain gutters to it.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Do it. That's something that Rick would do. I don't remember his caching name.
I know who you're talking about.
Does those amazing birdhouses.
Yeah. Rick Piper Co. Piper CO. There you go. Colorado.
Yep. So in order to put this top on, I had a couple different thoughts. I was going to nail this here, glue it and nail it together, right? So this centers on here. Or I could just screw it right down into the birdhouse top itself, and then put the tin over the roof. I think I'm just going to put this on just for giggles.
All right, so we have a request. Mini Mag says, "Sorry, late. Can we start over?"
Yeah, let's take it apart. I don't really want to take it apart. I actually built 2 of these, and then the very last cut I did on one of them, I did the wrong side. So I was like, "Oh, forget it. We're doing one."
Yeah, that's that. I have to, when I'm doing the birdhouse with the PVC board with one side rough and one side smooth. I have to, when I'm doing those cuts, I have to. There's been many times that I've like, oh crud, I got to recut that one. So it's like I forgot to flip it as I'm putting them together. So, and those aren't cutting with cedar and cutting with PVC board. Sometimes that's not always good to make those mistakes because it's very limited on.
Pricey.
It can be, yes. But I was noticing earlier. Where is it? I'm gonna find the comment. It was from Tricaches for PVC board. They make a Cortex screws and plugs. They are near invisible. So that's something else. I'm gonna have to look into that as well for some of these the PVC board. I haven't actually really used screws with the PVC board too much. I've generally been using the really heavy duty glue, the PVC cement on there, and it's been really great. I've had one that was been out since Mingo in my backyard, and that one's actually going to make it with me to going caching, and it is up for sale. So if you're there and you want it, hey, make me an offer. I do know how much the PVC board costs, so it needs to be at least more than that. So I now have a couple of caches there with me. 2 of them will be PVC board, and one will be a regular cedar birdhouse, or it may be deck wood. One of those 2. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So I thought that was really neat about the PVC board on there.
Yeah, so it's pretty common for decks. So you hide the screws, and
Right.
the plugs actually have the wood grain on them because obviously they just make them out of the boards themselves.
Right.
And then you pop it in. Yeah, he's right. They're amazing.
Yeah. All right, so you've glued the top on now.
Yes. So as you can see, when we were talking, I measured it all.
Right.
Got it all set up, marked it. A little too much glue. There's its own little section now. Here. It's moving around a little bit too much. And for this one,
welcome, Hugh. It's all right. It'll be up on YouTube later on and stays there. So welcome. So thank you for joining us tonight. Yeah, like I said, we're here early on Monday instead of on Tuesday because of going caching this weekend, and Chad's traveling tomorrow and heading to Georgia, and I'll be heading out on Wednesday. So we're just kind of wanting to make sure that we get our build in for this end of this month, and we do have a challenge for next month, and that we will get into that here in a little bit. But we do have a brand new challenge for next month, so stay tuned, and we will talk about that here in a little while.
Nice. So on this, just because you won't see it, and it's going to give a little bit of a better hold, I used 1/4-inch staples.
Okay.
On that instead of brads.
And really, the glue's going to hold it more than those generally, anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to have both the mechanical and the glue as a fastener, but once the glue dries, you know, the mechanical fastener should be there just to hold it till it dries. But it's nice to have both of them there. Okay, so there's our top. Now, what I will do is pre-drill 4 holes. And one thing I don't like is I don't like drilling, putting screws into the end grain because it's not as strong.
Right.
But I don't know. I did not plan something different. So we're just going to go ahead and go for it. And now we're not going to glue this on as well, because we're going to need to take it off if we ever do maintenance.
Right. Now, what if you drilled in from the side and you just have to
But I want to hide the screws.
But you want to hide the screws.
I don't want anybody to get to it. Right. Now, you could. That's one of the reasons why I thought about doing this, is because then you could actually screw in, and you could use some trim head screws on here and hide them fairly well. So,
or countersink them and do something.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, but in my whole thought thing, I'm just going to put them here and then put a tin roof on it, and we should be good.
Cache was thinking the same exact thing.
What?
Going in from the side.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, some of those caches up in Gilby, some of the new ones that I was seeing pictures of from this last weekend, look absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, they do. They look really good.
So good job there, Chad, up there. Looked like a lot of fun. Wish you could have been there, but a lot of traveling. So yeah, Direwolf's asking tin roof. Yeah, Chad's planning on putting a tin roof on this to hide the screws underneath that. So that's there. So, or here's another option. The Force Awakens says RFID reader to release a pin, allowing only you to open. To be able to get to the top.
Okay, but then what was the point of someone? Oh, to get to the top. Yeah, you
for
could.
cache maintenance.
One of those locks like we have. Yeah.
That actually is not a bad idea. I kind of like that. I have a cache that might work on. I'm just kind of thinking of different options, but that might work. You just have to be able to have power to it somehow, or external backup power, just in case the batteries died.
Yeah. Excuse me. Here, I'm going past my camera.
It's all right. So Chad's pre-drilling those holes for the put in the top. So I'm just sorry. We're just reading the quote.
What are you laughing at? I can't read.
I'm sorry. I know you can't. I'm sorry. Dire Wolf says I was quoting Love Shack, and I'm trying to find where that quote was. But then Houston Dave says Love Bird Shack. So yeah. Well, you could. So Dire Wolf says you could attach it with Velcro. However, it would. It wouldn't. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's how you're going to attach the tin roof. How are you going to attach the tin roof? That's actually a good point. Because since you're hiding the screws, very carefully. All right.
I'm just going to do a couple dabs of silicone on it, and it will hold it in place until I want it off. That's
okay, Ryan
plan. Will it work? I don't know. In theory.
Okay, so Ryan was saying I was thinking the same thing with the side screws and magnetic trim covering screws.
You could do that, absolutely.
Yep, you could do that. Another option. Yeah, Bill on the move says so this is a no access cache. Funny. Yeah, it's a completely red herring. So this one will be put out there, and the cache is going to be a nano in the woods.
Actually, what you could do is you could put it up in a tree and use a doorbell or use a TV remote and have it flash some lights. You could do all kinds of stuff with it.
Yeah.
That someone actually wouldn't get into it except for the owner, and it could be high enough to where no one could get to it.
Right.
Again,
yeah, this could just be this could just be part of a relocator for a simple, or not necessarily simple, but for a multi-cache. So this is just another way that you could do this. You don't have to get into the birdhouse. I mean, what if you actually, that might be kind of an interesting thought. If you actually had a real birdhouse that was a relocator and a multi, it's just looks like a bat box or just a birdhouse out there, but that's actually part of the location. People are looking around and it's up high enough that you can't actually get to it, but maybe it does something to do something. Just kind of an idea.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking for a couple screws that I want to use.
All right. I'm just kind of reading through this. Hurricane proof bird shack from Houston Dave. And then we got from the Force Awakens, auction off the birdhouse. It would be good for a good cause. So yeah, we're just trying to think of different ways that this might be able to work. So just let us know. And if you have an idea to be able to do one of these birdhouses, send us an email at Geocache Talk Podcast. Wrong guy. Geocache Talk Podcast is the other one, but Gadget Talk Podcast at gmail.com. You don't need to send it to the Sunday night show, but it's Gadget Talk Podcast at gmail.com. You can send it to us there. Or if you have a birdhouse that you want us to look at, you can send us to us in that email, or you can always tag us on Instagram at Gadget Talk Podcast. So we'd love to see that, and we always love seeing your builds as well, or how we've inspired you with the builds. Really love seeing that. So and love all the input that you guys are giving us tonight in the chat. Ozfox says, and this one's another one, or a chirp house. So this could actually be a place that you could actually store a chirp. And if you have that capability of using a chirp as a relocator, or using that to get to another location, that would be really cool too. So that's actually a really great idea as well. So once again, if you need want to send us a message or tag us on any posts on Instagram, that's at Gadget Talk Podcast. So, all right, Chad, I'm going back to the build cam.
Okay.
All right.
So normally I don't have my countersink bit in here, but you would put a little countersink in there so these screws would go through, so they wouldn't. So they sit flush. I do know where it is. It's out in my work car because I use it at work all the time. And I remember seeing it actually this week, thinking, why do I have two of them in here?
Because one of them's not supposed to be in there.
Yeah, one's supposed to be here. So one of the screws that we were talking about you could put is this smaller trim head stainless steel screw. You could probably go a little bit smaller than this one, but you could put that right through there. It'd be a small trim head in there. Or you could go with the bigger one. Oh, sorry. It looked good from my view. So you could pre-drill and put these in here. So such a small, it's a minimal head, right? It's a finish head. I don't know what you want to call it, a trim head. There's people call it all different things. And this is a stainless steel screw, so you wouldn't have any issues, hopefully, with it. Future, of course, it's in wood, so.
Direwolf says, I haven't decided if I'll be robbing this idea or not. And you wouldn't be robbing it because that's what we do. We like to share information. So you're not robbing it. We're giving it. That's what's going on there. We're giving this away. So
that's what we're here for.
Yep.
Okay, so there we go. Pretty simple. If I want to do maintenance, I'll take off these 4 screws. Now we're talking about a tin roof for the top. So I was messing around last night and I built one here that actually slides on in place.
Sorry. Houston Dave says, I'll bring my lumber on a truck to going caching and have Chad build a life-size birdhouse cache.
Let's do it. That'll be fun.
Yep.
So
bring the tools too.
It's a tin roof
he's not flying with them.
Huh?
It said bring the tools too because he's not flying with them.
That's right. Yeah, I have to limit what I'm already taking 3 pieces of luggage. So, but
you're only going back with one.
Oh yeah, hopefully. We'll see. So anyways, this is it. Now, when I made this tin roof here, so I'd put 4 dabs of silicone on it, pop it on, and then when I wanted it off, I can just pop it off with a window bar or a pry bar or something small one. But the way I made this, and I'm not a fan of this one. I'm kind of torn on this one. So I folded the fronts over and I riveted them together. And then what you'd do is you'd use a caulk here that would be for metal. So the caulk I would use is this here, and this is what we use on gutters. So it's a gutter and seam sealant. So it's made because metal expands and contracts. This is the same stuff that gutters are made out of, this tin. So I would end up actually putting it in the corners of it just to seal it up. So, it's up to you. You could put it in between the seams before you rivet it.
Right.
However you want to make that happen.
So Chad, they're really kind of ragging on you tonight. Bell's going, maintenance? It's empty. What kind of maintenance are we going to be doing on this? Basically is what he's saying. And then, but here's a good one. The tin roof definitely makes it classy. Nice job. And then this one, I can't go without this one. Tom says, life-size birdhouse looks a lot like an outhouse. So,
yeah.
But yeah, so there's just kind of, everybody's just kind of having a lot of fun in the chat tonight. So that's a lot.
That's okay. We want to have fun.
That's right. I mean, if we weren't having fun, we wouldn't be doing this at all. So that's the whole point of this.
Yeah. And remember, this is my first birdhouse I've made. So
yeah. So be nice. Be nice.
Yeah.
Be nice.
So the way I came up with this birdhouse.
Just because the birds can't get in and nothing can, and it's not even a finder can get it. Just be nice. It's okay.
Now I wish I had it. This is only the tin I have in stock here. I have aluminum that's bigger, but I don't. It's kind of a pain. So I wish it was a little bit bigger because it leaves a little bit open in the back of the birdhouse.
Right.
But we're just going to go ahead and go with this anyways. So what we're going to do is we know we have a 1x piece of wood, so it's 3/4 inch here. So on your tin, when you buy these at Home Depot, these are like $1.50. So 8x12 inch, and you can get them in different colors. Usually it's black on one side and brown on the other. This happens to be gray. But anyways, it'd be fine and flashing kind of by the roofing areas. So used for step flashing a lot. But anyway, you decide what color you want to use on this. So I'm going to go with, I don't know what I'll go with. I'll go with black. I'll go with gray. Go with copper. So what I'm going to go ahead and use is my square here and set it for 3/4 inch.
Okay.
Then I'm going to grab my metal marker here. Let me move this birdhouse out of the way. See if I can grab another piece of.
And you're doing this to bend it, correct? Or just to mark it how you're cutting it?
Yeah, to mark it so I know where to bend it at. To cut it and bend it.
Okay.
So, I just need something to actually put it up off the table. So I'll just use this scrap piece of PVC board.
That looks familiar.
What that was. Yeah, I wonder what that was.
I think I have one of those.
So, and then I'm going to grab my metal pin and mark this. So we know we want 3/4 inch on each side and 3/4 in the front.
Right.
So this makes it a little bit more difficult to mark it.
Darwell says that should totally be the shape of the roof. The coin cut out.
The coin
case cut out. Yeah.
Cut out. Nice. So with the metal pen, it's actually a steel tip. So it's really sharp and it scribes onto the tin.
Right.
So anyways, just so you know it goes. So we want to have 3/4 in the front and then 3/4 on this side. Thinking that actually piece of this is actually making it harder.
usually this is like the hardest part of doing anything anyways, is make sure you're getting the measurements right, and that way we can cut it for 5 times and still be short.
Yep.
So
we'll do that.
Yeah. Oh, I know. That's why there's a ton of scrap in our shops.
So I have my marks here, and so I'm just going to finish marking them off here.
Dave is he's saying, great job on the house. So, yeah, so you're getting some encouragement too, but yeah.
It doesn't matter to me.
I know.
Okay. Probably my last one I build then.
No, it won't be.
So I'm kind of cheating here. I'm using my birdhouse here, lining up with my line over here.
That's not cheating.
I'm scribing it over here, so
that's not cheating.
Measure it, but I'm not going to do that. And now I'm going to go 3/4 off of that.
Not cheating at all. As Chad's going through those for our audio listeners, Chad's going through and kind of measuring it 3/4 off the opposite side, because we used the factory edge on one side, on 2 sides. Now of course, he's having to cut down the 10 just a little bit, so he's just making sure that it's all nice and square for the final cut. And this is the actual one that you'll actually cut versus bending.
Correct. So these are the bend lines here, and then this will be my cut line, and then that's my bend line. You'll see here, it'll all come together fairly quick once I get it all done. You know, it's kind of funny. Is I used to work at a company where we had machines, big machines that would do all this for you. So you just write the program and I'd cut it all for you. Kind of nice.
Right. Oh, that would be nice.
It was before caching, though. I could have done some cool stuff. Okay, so now I just got to do the back as well.
So, Romacats, for those of us because you actually have a 10 bender back there, if I remember right, Chad.
Yeah, I have a shear and a break.
Right. So, Rumacats coming in late, but thanks, Doug, for coming in. Says one trick to bend thinner sheet metal is to scribe a deep line and then bend it on the line. It will follow the groove. So, if you don't have this tool that we're about to see from Chad, then you can do this. And that's the other shot you have there? Is that correct, Chad?
Yeah. So this is just a small one. I have a bigger one out in the other area. I have a 4-footer in the other, 4 or 5-footer in the other room.
Okay.
But this is just a small one I like to leave in here. So this will actually bend metal as far as it will actually make curves.
Okay.
You have rollers here that you can run it through to actually make loops. And you have your shear here. And then you have your brake here. So kind of a useful machine. So all we're going to do is we're going to go to our shear here. We're going to line up our line that we scribed here on that line.
And just make sure your fingers, toes, and nose are out of the way.
Yeah, I don't think you can get your finger in there. It's pretty small. And then we're just going to go ahead and cut it so get it to where I want it to be. That's it.
Yeah, not everybody is blessed to have those tools like that all the time. So I like the hint from Rumacats is do that deep scribe into it, so it will follow that as well.
I've never done that. We could try it. That's a good idea. I bet you would do it. It makes sense.
I bet it would.
Okay, so now next, what did I do with the snips?
So Direwolf says this is 10 though, so it might be harder to bend than sheet metal, which is aluminum, correct?
It's a sheet metal. It's the same thing, right? It's just a smaller piece of it. Sheet metal comes in different sizes and gauges, so This is a, I don't know if this says what gauge it is. It doesn't say on it, but you can get these. So back at our old shop, we would get these in 4x10 sheets.
Okay.
And then we could make this stuff. So it's all the same sheet metal, but you can get different thicknesses, different gauges. We call it tin just because they're the smaller pieces.
Okay.
At least in the field that I was in. So, but anyway, it's up to you. So on the other birdhouse, I actually ended up bending this. I cut one end of the corner and bent it to put a rivet in it. I'm just going to cut this out and see how that works this time.
Okay. Yeah. Bell's like, wow. As discussed on a previous episode, I have a jigsaw.
Me too. I think somewhere. So I'm just cutting this off. Now remember, this is sharp.
Very.
So be careful.
Yeah.
One thing I don't have is a corner. So you can get actually a cutter that actually just does corners. And that would sure be nice to have. But
Chad, I'm surprised you don't have it.
Yeah, I know. You need to look it up. No, don't have it. I gotta get it. No,
he'll have it next time. He'll probably have it the next time that we do an episode.
Possibly. Probably not. Okay, so we want to go ahead and bend this. Let me think about the back here, though. I want to do something to the back. So I got to come back over here and mark that all the way.
So the Force Awakens says, since you cut the corner completely, would you weld or solder it?
I'm going to use that gutter seal stuff on it. So typically, you could spot weld if you had a spot welder. You could spot weld this corner, right? And then seal it inside here. Or you could put the seal in there and use the rivet. It's up to you. I prefer a corner like this because it's a better system. But I thought I would try something a little bit different so you can kind of see two different ways to make it. So get back over here. So now we're going to go to bending. And so on these machines, you want to switch cameras there?
Oh, sorry. Yep.
Sorry. Trying to explain, I don't want to leave them behind. So on these machines, for our brake, you can actually adjust these. And I actually took one of the teeth out. I actually took two teeth out because the actually will go the full distance. But I took one of the teeth out for it so I can actually bend it in place with these ear pieces up.
Okay.
Which you'll see here. So I kind of wish I had the full length of that. Let's try it. Not a big fan of doing it without it being fully done. All the teeth touching the part I want to bend.
Right.
But it only takes a second to put it in. But let's go ahead and give this a try. So we're lining up that line. I'm going to push it down, and just right there, it's going to give us a 90. You can go more if you want to, but that will be our corner there. All right. Come on that way. So that will give us our end there. And when it doesn't go all the way to the edge there, it doesn't give you the cleanest cut when your brake doesn't, but it will work. It's good enough for the audio listeners.
So this is kind of funny. So Doug Rumbacat says, I put my 10 snips on a retracting dog leash. My wife keeps using it, and I no longer have to go hunting for it.
So I am going to cut this back corner out.
And Darwell says, not sure if I want any 10 snips flying back at me when I hit that button. It works on your reflexes.
Yeah.
That's what it does. It's a good reflex exercise.
Let's see. I want this to kind of be. I did the angle on the last one, and I don't remember what I ended up doing. So give me a second here.
So Chad's got it back over onto the other table.
So yeah,
and
what I'm
just kind
trying
of
to do
checking-
is figure out when I bend this here,
right.
your roof here, right? Your barge board, what do you want to call this? Is going to have this 15-degree angle on it. So I want to make it even. So I think what I'll do is bend this and I'll hand snip it.
Okay.
We'll give that a try. All I can do is fail, right?
Hey, and I mean that's part of this. So yeah, Tom says, wasn't it 15 degrees?
Yeah, it was.
Rumbacat says, and he's not the only one that needs this, by the way. Chad needs an intern to do his filming while he works like Adam Savage and Tested. So yeah, he's not the only one. So yeah, and then Bell says, yeah, Doug, you must have Rumbacat like reflexes.
Okay, let's go back over to this other camera here.
Got it.
So we can see this fits on really nice here. I have it backwards. Go this way. Now we just need to figure out this angle. Now that I can see it, what I'll do is take my marker here and I'm going to mark the edge, scribe it. And then we'll go back to the hand. We can stay on this camera. Now we have our scribe in there. You can see that 15-degree angle.
Yep, I see it.
I'm just going to hit that with the hand snips. Good old manual labor here.
I don't know. Doug says we need to do a AMA episode. Ask me anything episode.
Let's do it. Is Doug going to come on for that one?
I don't know. Doug, are you going to host that one and have to and feed all the questions to us, or what you going to do on that one? So, yeah, I'm game. We can try it out. We can see what happens. I mean, what's going to be the worst thing? You're not going to know if I answer the correct answer. That's for sure, because it's me answering it. So, yeah, he says, sure, I'll do it. Darwell says 30 rapid questions with Rombacats.
So we have our
birdhouse
angle
is looking
there.
Amazing.
Yeah, thank you. So we have our angle here. I bent it to 15. So the corner, right? So we're at 15 degrees. The metal is pretty close to 15 degrees there. The lip, again, I wish it went down the whole 3/4 of an inch, but the tin is just a tiny bit too small for this size birdhouse. So I could have made this a 1/2 inch smaller, the overhang on the front, and made it up. But if I'm going to put a door on here, then we're going to want that extra room.
Right.
So, again, you make it however you want. This is just, again, the way I would make it. So, let's see how it fits. This fits on nice and snug on there. You could put pins in it here if you want to, or screws to hold it on. But again, I don't want any, if you're worried about taking it off, I don't like the look of that. I like a nice, clean look. So I'm not going to do that. Now, the other thing I'm going to do on this is I'm going to go ahead and bend the front and get that 15-degree angle on the front as well. As you can see, there's a gap there. So we need to get our 15-degree angle on here as well. So with the way I did the last one, I didn't get that. So let me go in here and bend it a little bit more. Yeah, if I can get it in. Just do it by hand.
Yep, that was the other option.
For
the rest of us that don't have that tool, we'd be doing this by hand anyway. So,
yeah, they actually make a pair of vice grips that are actually about 4 inches, 5 inches long that you can put on there and bend. You could put a couple pieces of metal and put it on a clamp on it or something. so you get a nice clean bend, but we're just going to do this by hand.
Martin Jones says brass nails would be another look that you could do.
I have copper nails.
Okay, those would look good. That'd give it a little bit of a little pizzazz decoration to it.
So you can see how that's nice and tight now on there?
Right.
Tight in the back. It's tight on the sides. So it should be. So what we're going to do is mark these wings here, whatever you want to call them, off.
Because that would slice nicely.
Oh, yeah. That would not be fun. That'd be okay for me. I wouldn't be the one getting cut, but no. We'd probably get a needs archived on the cache if it cut somebody.
Yeah. Definitely not one that you would want to raise up on.
No, I don't. I'm not into hurting people with my caches.
No, I don't think anybody should be.
So, let's see here. And usually on corners like this one here, we'd round them off because it is sticking down so far. But I think it's going to be so close to the cache. I think we're okay. I'm going to bend these just by hand here. Again, once it hits that wood, it will straighten it out and look pretty good.
Right. So Chad's just kind of bending this by hand. So, and that'll make it even tighter when it goes on there too. So
yeah, there we go. So now that's on. It's not going anywhere, and it's nice and tight all the way around. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, that looks good
all the way around. So you can do 4 dabs of silicone on there. You can put some pins through the sides, some nails, whatever you want. It's up to you. Or you don't have to put a tin roof on, but I thought it would be kind of cool, and it will actually last a long time.
So Tom says, put a bison tube in a cat, and I'm a real cat, and put it on the birdhouse roof. Cat on a hot tin roof. There's your whole cache.
There you go. Then you could, if we wanted to do some screws on the side, we would mark them. So when you try and go through metal, right? Try and drill, the drill bit will move. So you have these little tools here that will actually make the divot. So you just push down where you want it, and you see it makes a little divot there.
Yep, I see.
And now your drill bit won't move. You could also do this because it puts a little divot in it, and it'll actually kind of push it towards the wood, so it's harder to come off. Won't do a ton, but anyways, that is that. And that's pretty much what I was planning on getting to this week. So that's the beginning of the version of my birdhouse. Now, again, I'd put the gutter caulk. I'd take this off, put the caulk in the corners. It's a nice tight fit. I'd go ahead and put in that gutter caulk, the gutter seam caulk in the corner here and here, and then stick it on. You're good to go. That would hold that front part on. No problem. And then you could actually do it to the back, just that little bit on the back, and that actually would probably hold it on in place.
It probably would, because that'd make it even a lot tighter too. Yeah.
So that is my version so far of a birdhouse cache, a small one, but a birdhouse cache.
It looks good. It looks really good. But yeah, that looks, like I said, trying to get, where is it? There, just remove it. So yeah, that just looks really good. A lot of good comments. Okay, so yeah, so the Rama Cat says you'll need to charge those birds rent on that work of art. So yeah, those just looks really good. I love the way you did the tin. I've seen the roof. I've seen some where they just kind of got the that's not corrugated. It's the kind of the rumbled, like you'd see on like a house tin roof kind of thing with the grooves in it. So I've seen those, but I had not seen one done with like that I can think of. But I really do like that. And I think that's, for those of us that don't have the benders, scribing it deep and be able to bend it that way, that's a really great tip from Doug.
We could try it real quick, actually.
Okay.
because I did mention that earlier. Let's give it a try while we're here. I'm curious myself.
All right, I'm going to add this one, Badger build cam, back to the screen. Oh, sorry. The Force Awakens says, Rama Cats, yes, but the rent is cheap.
For what?
For the birdhouse. Cheap. The rent is cheap. Cheap.
Hey, Derek, you made this look so easy.
What do you mean I made it look so... What did I make look so easy?
Building this. Isn't that what Ozzy Fox said?
Oh.
Okay, so I scribed it pretty good. Pretty deep scribe on there.
Okay.
Let's give it a try. Yeah, it actually is not bad at all.
See, I don't know if you'd bend it toward the scribe or away from it.
No, I would go this way myself. We can try it the other way, but I think this is the way that I would go. What might even be better is if you...
Romacat says use the ruler to help bend
put it on the edge. If we put it on the edge, I know you can't... Edge of the table here. Actually, go over to my other camera.
Okay.
We'll go right on the edge of this.
Yeah, finding a nice, good edge.
Yeah. It worked.
Yeah, Romacat says, yeah, bend it on the direction of the scribe side.
The camera. So go towards the scribe side?
Yeah. Oh, Osfox says, sorry, Chad, you made it look so easy. Hey, I'm just sitting here yapping, so. Oh, you're back on that one.
All right. Okay, one more, real quick. So towards the scribe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that turned out really good.
There we go. All right, so that's it.
So yeah, great idea. Nice tip there, Doug.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Because not all of us have those fancy toys, Chad.
Yeah.
We wish we did.
Yeah, I know. I want one.
You want one what? One of the fancy toys that you just showed us?
Yeah. At some point, I'll have to show you how to make a fence sign cache.
That would be really cool. Okay, yeah, that's for another show. So, but hey, if you're still with us, and we thanks for joining us, we've gone a little longer tonight. But I teased it earlier about a challenge, and our challenge for the month of October. Holy cow, where's this year gone? But October is we are going to be. You're going to be, hopefully, you have to build a Birdhouse Gadget Cache. So we want to see what you can build. You've seen me build a ton of them on my channel, and I will be building another one. Be building, hopefully, be actually into the smart cache part of my build at that point. But yeah, so that's what your challenge is to build a Birdhouse Gadget Cache. So, and what you can do, if you want to be on that show, you'll be able to highlight it on the show itself. That'll be the last Tuesday of the month in October, and I don't have a calendar in front of me right now. But send us an email with your build to gadgettalkpodcast@gmail.com, or you can also tag us in Instagram at Gadget Talk Podcast, and we'll be able to see that, and then we'll give you the link and everything like that you can join us, and you can show us your Gadget Cache Birdhouse, and just walk us through the build. Now, if you're doing this, take pictures of it through the build or even video, and that way we can have that on the show as well. That would be really great. And you'll be able to send us links to that through the Gadget Talk Podcast@gmail.com. So just go ahead and get that to us. Don't forget, thanks for joining us tonight on Monday. I know it's a little weird, but because Chad's going caching and he leaves tomorrow, I'll be there on Wednesday night. I'll be getting there.
Yeah.
Of course, Gary and Emily from the other shows are going to be there as well. So we're really looking having a lot of fun. Friday night at Going Caching, we're doing the 1920 style radio show, and that'll be at 6:30 Central. 6 o'clock Central. It's from 6 to 7. Sorry, from 7 to 7:30. I'm confusing my time zones all in one time frame. So that'll be in Central time, not Central, in good grief, Eastern time. It'll be from 7 to 7:30 that we'll be going live from Going Caching. And then on Saturday, I don't know if we're going live for this or not, Chad. But if you're at Going Caching, Chad and I are going to be doing a talk from 1 to 1:45. They're at Going Caching talking about gadget caches.
Yeah, and absolutely. If you're going caching, find us. We'd love to talk to you, say hi.
Yep.
Love to meet fellow people that like to build stuff and just talk. So please make sure you find us.
And if you're at Going Caching and you have not gotten your Cache Fest pre-event coins, we will have them with us. I got the 2 right here. I got my red ones downstairs, but we will have these for sale. Remember, it's $20 a coin or $50 for all 3. So we will have these with us there at the event. So look for us on the table. Plus, I'll have some caches there. Chad, you're going to be bringing the magic blocks and some other stuff, right?
I have a magic blocks for people to see, and then I have a few kits to sell if you are at Going Caching. It'll be the first come, first serve.
Yep.
There. So make sure you find us on those.
So come see us at the table. Gary's going to have some books there, some 201 or something. But yeah, we're looking forward to being there. And any final words tonight, Chad?
Nope. Just like what Tom said, if you like the show, hit that like button.
Yep, hit that like button.
It really helps us out. We really appreciate it. And that's it until next Tuesday.
Yeah, next Tuesday. Yeah. And what are we doing next Tuesday?
I don't know what we're doing yet. I don't know.
Are we going to finish up your build?
Talking
about Going Caching or finishing your build?
I don't know if I have time to get back Tuesday afternoon and then come on Tuesday evening to do the build.
All right. Yeah, we may be talking about Going Caching and some of the stuff that we maybe we'll, those that were not able to join us on at the event. Maybe we'll be going over what we're talked about at the event itself.
Yeah,
so
that sounds good.
We'll figure it out. Chad and I'll be together. We'll figure it out this week of what we're going to be doing. So, all right, everybody, we will see you either at Going Caching or next week.
Yep. Good night, everybody.